What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the SDM Effect, where we talk about faith, purpose, and becoming. It's been a minute since I've been here, but today's episode, it's going to be a big one. People are going to get in their feelings. Today's episode is called Change. But I don't know who needs to hear this today, but I hope you're ready because I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. You know what I mean? Check it out, because you say you want change, but you're still doing the same crap. You say you want change, but you're still putting the shit up your nose. You're still smoking that good old Mary J. You're still doing shit you're not supposed to be doing. You say you want change, but you're not willing to leave the old lifestyle. You know what I mean? You're too busy trying to people please that you don't realize that you're destroying your own self. If you're still here, let's get started. All right, because check it out. Look, I was you. I've been where you're at, minus the Mary Jane. I couldn't stand that crap. I've been through it all. Been there, done that. So don't think I'm sitting here judging you. I'm talking to you because I lived through some of the things, you know what I mean? I made bad decisions. I've chased acceptance. I've looked for love in the wrong places back in the day. I've tried to feel emptiness with things that could never satisfy me. And if I'm being honest, I got tired. I got tired of pretending, tired of making excuses, tired of saying I wanted something different while doing the same things every single day. That's when I realized something. Nothing changes until you change. Not your friends, not your job, not your bank account, not your relationships. You have to change. You know what I mean? You know what amazes me? People pray for better lives while holding on to the very things that destroy them. Oh, God bless me. God help me. You know what I mean? God give me peace. But then walk right back into the same habits we've been asking him to help us get us out of. How does that make sense? You can't keep watering weeds and expecting flowers to grow. Some of us are feeding the very things we're praying God will remove. Think about it. You know what I mean? Take a second. Seriously. Think about your own life. What's one thing you need to let go of? Maybe it's the drugs. Maybe it's alcohol. Maybe it's porno. Maybe it's gossip. Maybe it's anger. Maybe it's a relationship that isn't healthy. Maybe it's your pride. Yeah, a lot of you have a lot of pride issues. Maybe it's always needing everyone's approval. Whatever it is, you already know. I don't have to tell you. Because every time you do it, something inside you says, this ain't it. That's your conscience. That's conviction. That's God reminding you that you were made for more than this. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying you're perfect. I'm not perfect. I still have to fight my own battles. I still have days where I get frustrated. I still have days where I want to quit. I still have days where I question things. But here's the difference. I don't want to live in that place anymore. There's a difference between struggling and settling. Everybody struggles, but not everybody decides to stay there. Some people make their struggles their identity. And I'll always be this way. No, you won't. Not if you decide today that enough is enough. Look around you. Seriously. Who's sitting at your table right now? Who you're spending your weekends with? Who gets your time? Who gets your attention? Who gets your energy? What are you benefiting from those relationships? What knowledge do they bring to the table that's making you better? Or are they helping you stay exactly where you've always been? See, some people always like the old version of you. The version that drank with them. The version that partied with them. the version that complained with them, the version that never wanted more out of life. The moment you decide to grow, watch what happens. People start calling you different. Oh, you've changed. Yeah, that's the point. I'm supposed to change. I'm not trying to be the same man I was 5 years ago. I'm not trying to be the same man I was 10 years ago. Because guess what? Growth requires change. And change makes people uncomfortable. Some people don't hate your success. They hate your growth because your growth reminds them that they've been standing still. Don't let that stop you. If people walk away because you're trying to become a better man or woman, let them walk away. Everybody can't go where God's taking you. That's hard to hear, but it's true. Some friendships have expiration dates. Some relationships have expiration dates. Some habits have expiration dates. If you're serious about becoming the person God created you to be, something has to go. You can't carry your old life into your new season. You have to decide what's more important, keeping everybody happy or finally becoming who you're called to be. That's a question only you can answer. So let me ask you another question. How long have you been going? How long are you going to keep blaming everybody else? How long is it going to be your parents' fault, your ex's fault, your boss's fault? You know what I mean? Your childhood, your friends. At some point, you've got to stop pointing the finger and look in the mirror. That mirror doesn't lie. You know what's crazy? We'll spend hours scrolling through social media watching everybody else's life. But we won't spend 5 minutes looking at our own. We're so busy worried about what everybody else is doing that we forgot to work on ourselves. Comparison will rob you every single time. You know what somebody had to go through to get where they are? You don't know the sacrifices they made. You don't know the nights they cried. You don't know the battles they fought. So stop comparing your chapter 2 to somebody else's chapter 20. Run your race, not theirs. And here's another thing. Stop waiting until Monday. Stop waiting until January 1st. Stop waiting until you have more time. Stop waiting until life gets easier. Life isn't going to send you an invitation to change. You have to decide. You need to decide today, right now. The enemy loves the word tomorrow. I'll quit tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow. I'll read my Bible tomorrow. Then tomorrow turns into next week. Next week turns into next month. Next month turns into another year. Before you know it, you wasted years of your life waiting on the perfect time. There is no perfect time. The perfect time is the moment you get tired of making excuses. Now, let me tell you something about excuses. Excuses make us feel better without making us better. So read that again. Because you know why? Because excuses remove responsibility. It's easier to blame it. It's easier to blame than it is to change. But growth starts the moment you own your choices. I had to do that. Nobody forced me. Nobody could do it for me. I had to look in the mirror and admit that some of the pain I was carrying, I created. That wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Healing starts with honesty, not perfection. Honesty. Can I tell you something else? You don't have to have it all figured out. Some people think they have to become perfect before they come to God. Now that's backwards. God changes people who are willing, not people who pretend. Again, God changes people who are willing, not people who pretend. Bring him your mess. Bring him your addiction. Bring him your anger. Bring him your shame, your failures. That's what grace is for. Now, don't twist my words. Grace isn't permission to keep living the same way. Grace is the opportunity to become somebody different. Now, there's a difference. Some people want forgiveness, but they don't want transformation. They want to be rescued, but they don't want to surrender. You can't keep asking God to open new doors while you're chained to your old life. Man, some things have to break. And sometimes that something is you. Your pride, your ego, your excuses, your comfort, your fear. You know what fear sounds like? What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I can't do it? Let me ask you this. What if you can? What if God has something greater waiting on the other side of your obedience? You never know if you'll never know if you never take the first step. I remember thinking I wasn't good enough. I thought my past disqualified me. I thought people would only remember who I used to be. Then God reminded me, He uses broken people all the time. Because broken people know what it feels like to need grace. That's why I do this podcast. Not because I'm better than anybody. Not because I got my life all figured out. I do this because if God can change me, He can change anybody. And if my story helps one person, just one, then every painful chapter was worth it. So let me ask you one more time. What are you holding on to that's keeping you from becoming the person God has created you to be? Is it worth it? Really? Because everything has a price. Sin has a price. Addiction has a price. Bitterness has a price. Pride has a price. The question is, are you willing to keep paying for it? Or are you finally ready for change? Because nobody can make that decision for you. Not me, not your pastor, not your spouse, not your parents. Only you. And the beautiful thing is, the decision that changes your life can happen today. Before I wrap this up, I want you to do something. I don't care if you're driving. I don't care if you're at work listening through your headphones. I don't care if you're sitting on your couch. Just be honest with yourself. When was the last time you looked in the mirror? Not to fix your hair, not to shave, not to brush your teeth, but to look yourself in the eyes and ask, am I becoming the person I say I want to be? Now that is a very hard question. Because most of us already know the answer. We just don't like it. See, we spend so much time trying to convince everybody else that we're okay. We smile, we laugh, we post pictures, we tell everybody life is good. But when it's just you, you know what you're struggling with. You know what you're hiding. You know what keeps you awake at night. You know what you've been trying to cover up. And here's the thing. You can fool people. You can't fool yourself. And you sure can't fool God. Now hear me. I'm not saying that to condemn you. I'm saying it because there's freedom in telling the truth. The moment you stop pretending, that's the moment healing can begin. I spent years trying to fit in, trying to find acceptance, trying to be who everybody else wanted me to be. And all it did was leave me empty, made me look like a clown. Then I realized something. People didn't die for me. Jesus did. So why was I living my life trying to please people instead of honoring God? That hit me. Maybe it'll hit somebody listening today. You're wearing yourself out trying to make everybody happy. Newsflash, buddy. You never will. Some people won't like you no matter what you do. Some people will talk about you no matter how much you've changed. Some people will always remind you of your past because they don't know who you are today. Let them. Your job isn't to convince everybody you've changed. Your job is to keep changing. Eventually, your life will speak louder than your words. It's getting me emotional, man. People can argue with your opinions. They can't argue with your transformation. That's why I don't spend time trying to prove anything anymore. I just try to live it. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. I still have my bad days. I still mess up. I still have to ask God for forgiveness. I still have to check my attitude. I still have to humble myself. But I refuse to go back to the man I used to be. That man's gone. I'm becoming. Not arrived. I'm becoming. And maybe that's where you're at today. Maybe you're listening to this thinking, Stephen, I don't even know where to start. Buddy, start small. Throw away what needs to be thrown away. Delete the numbers you've been hanging on to. Walk away from relationships that are pulling you away from God. Call somebody you trust and ask for help. Open your Bible. Pray. Even if it's only for 5 minutes. Take one step. Then another. Then another. Oh, excuse me. Don't worry about the next year. Win today. Tomorrow will take care of itself. And don't let anybody tell you that your past decides your future. It doesn't. Your decision does. The enemy wants you to believe you're too far gone. God says you're not. The enemy says you'll never change. God said you can become a new creation. The enemy reminds you of your past. God reminds you of his grace. So who are you going to believe? I want to leave you with this. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Read that one more time. If nothing changes, nothing changes. So today, make that phone call. Apologize. Forgive. Put the bottle down. Flush the drugs. Walk away from what's pulling you back. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. This is your moment. Will it be easy? No, it won't be easy. But will it be worth it? Absolutely, 100%. Because on the other side of obedience is a life you can't see yet. Don't give up 5 minutes before the breakthrough. Keep fighting. Keep praying. Keep showing up. Keep becoming. That's what the SDM effect is all about. Faith, purpose, and becoming. Not perfection. Becoming. If this episode challenged you, share it with somebody who needs to hear it. Maybe it'll be the conversation that changes a life. Maybe it'll be the push somebody's been needing. And if that somebody is you, don't wait another day. Choose change. Check it out, man. I'm Stephen McCormick. And this is the SDM Effect. And remember, your past is a chapter. It's not your whole story. God's not finished with you. Keep your faith. Walk in purpose. And never stop becoming. I'll see you on the next episode. God bless.
Thank you for joining me on the SDM Effect. Remember, your past does not define you, your circumstances do not limit you, and your purpose is greater than your obstacles. Keep growing in faith, keep walking in purpose, and keep becoming the person God created you to be. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and keep making an impact. This is the SDM Effect.